So how did I spend less than $10,000 buying this $149,000 Catamaran? That's what we're going to talk about today. In this video I'm going to explain how I bought this $149,000 Catamaran for less than $10,000. The last video really blew up and there were a lot of questions about how much did I actually spend on the boat. That's what we're going to talk about today, and there's actually 4 parts to that. One is finding the right boat and knowing what you actually want and what you're looking for and finding the right deal. Second is negotiating the price. Third is doing a good survey and then renegotiating the price. That was also a very important factor on this boat. And number 4 is investing. That's something I've been doing for a long time through the FIRE movement as well. And that way I don't have to come up with every euro that I'm going to spend or every dollar that I'm going to spend on the boat. By using time and investments, it makes the actual dollar amount that I put into it a lot lower. So we're going to talk about those 4 topics today. Step 1 is finding the right boat and knowing what you want. I knew I was looking for a more performance-oriented boat, so I wanted something that was lightweight, had skinny hulls, and was able to go fast and sail well. I was looking in the 40-ish foot range, 40 maybe to 45 foot range. This is of course a lot bigger than that. It's mostly longer than that, 49 foot boat, because it doesn't have the same interior volume, probably as a Lagoon 40. So it's just a long boat with not a lot of interior volume, but it's definitely something I was looking at. And this one just popped up on Yacht World. It had already been there for about a year. I think it had been off and on again, maybe a couple times. They lowered the price a little bit. But yeah, I ran across it, I looked at it, I loved it. But it was definitely out of my price range at 149k. That's not something I could spend, especially because there is always more money being spent on the boat after it has been sitting for a while and it has not been actively cruised. So I found this boat there, loved it, thought about it, and then after a couple of days, like I told in the last video, gave the broker a call, and you can see the whole process in that video. But yeah, came down to the boat. I liked it. I wanted to put in an offer, but it was going to be significantly lower than the asking price, because the asking price was $149,000, and this boat was not worth that. At least not worth that to me. It could be worth that to the seller, and he can wait for whoever is coming to pay the price. I was not going to pay the price. So yeah, I offered him $80,000, so that's already a lot lower than what he was asking for. He came back with 95, and yeah, we settled on 87,500. That was already on day one. I think part of this is actually having the money ready and being able to move quickly, because that keeps the seller in the process and allows you to move quickly. So yeah, we already went down from 149 to 87,500. Signed the contract, and here in the US the contract is depending on a survey, and after that survey you can renegotiate if you find bigger problems. So the next day we were able to get a haul out, and I did the whole survey myself. I've been living on boats for 6 years. I know quite a bit now about boats, about all the systems and everything on board. And I had Rolf, he also helped Hupvlogs, and he's an expert in catamarans and composite builds. I had him on speed dial, and he advised me during the process. So yeah, went through the whole boat. Unfortunately I found the rudders, but that was actually a good thing, because I can fix it myself. I'll probably need some external help to fix them, maybe need a new shaft or anything, but they are definitely fixable. But it is a huge expense if you would have someone else fix that, or if you order new rudders. So yeah, found those. I also found water in the keel, so that was another bigger problem, and just many smaller things here and there on the boat, but they start adding up. So I was just keeping a list on all the problems I found. And yeah, then it was time to renegotiate. We did a test sail as well. I had a diesel mechanic with me to check out the engines. He said they were fine. One of them even has a completely new sail drive and looks really well maintained. The other had an issue with the water pump, and it sprayed some salt water over the engine. So that definitely needs a little bit more love and work, but the mechanics of it are fine. It's not smoking, it's running well, it's starting well. So the mechanic gave it a thumbs up. So that was also good to know. So if you don't have this experience, definitely get a survey for the whole boat. But yeah, I trusted my own experience with the help of Rolf to get the systems and the boat itself, and I had hired in some experts for the diesel engines. So yeah, after that day, so we had the hull out, we found the problems there, we found some problems with the engines, we went over everything. We had to renegotiate the price. And that was something for the next day. So yeah, went back home, thought about it, have to look up prices for new rudders, for new rudder stocks, for all the work that needed to be done to the boat. And then the next day, yeah, I started the renegotiations. During this whole process, I was just talking to the broker. He was in between me and the seller, where I was not communicating directly with the seller. So it was a very professional way of dealing with this. The broker also was, yeah, very accommodating to my concerns or the things that we found. He was there during the survey. He saw it as well. So yeah, he was agreeing that the price needed to be significantly lower. Yeah, I was thinking about offering $35,000 off, or yeah, negotiating for $35,000 off for getting the whole thing fixed up, because that it's gonna cost a lot. Like, you have to get the boat hauled out. It's a big boat. You need the parts and everything like that. So I was being optimistic and yeah, offering $35,000 to take it off. And yeah, I wrote down, you have to make the official offer, write it down again, put it in, hand it in at the broker, and then I went for lunch. And when I came back, the offer was accepted. Like, there was no renegotiation, there was no counter offer. It was just flat out accepted. So we went from 149 to 87.5, and now we got $35,000 off that. So the final sales price of this boat was $52,500, which is, to me, an amazing price and deal for what is already on this boat. Because a lot of things are actually good. Like, the sails are new. They're Ullman sails, the Hydronet sails, they are new. The mainsail had been rubbing on the cockpit roof, so there were some damages to that. The sail cover had been gone, but we can we can get new ones. We can get the sail fixed. But just buying a brand new set of sails for a boat like this is gonna be 20K, or maybe even more, depending if you go Hydronet sails. So that was definitely something I was looking for. A boat that had the bigger expenses taken care of. So sails, rigging, engines, all of those parts needed to be good, because if you start doing that on a big boat like this, costs start adding up really quickly. So this boat had everything that I had to pay other people for. It was already paid for, so the sails and the rigging and everything. And all the stuff, all the other stuff, like the interior work, the electronics, a lot of the mechanical stuff, I can do myself. And that allowed me, that was like exactly the right balance I was looking for. Finding this rough diamond that had the basics, it had good lines. Like, it is gonna be a quick boat, just based on the lines, the weight. It's a very lightweight boat. Yeah, it has the right basis. It just needs some love and some creativity to the interior, and yeah, some work to the mechanical parts and the sailing parts as well. But it had the right base, and that was exactly what I was looking for. So yeah, we got it at $52,500. That was the final sales price. Signed the contract. I had to pay immediately, because that was also part of the deal. Was like, the seller was like, okay, if we're gonna do this, I want my money quickly. So yeah, I had to work out the money, sell my investments, because that's the last part that we're gonna talk about. Sell my investments to buy this boat. And that is how we go from, well, the 50K buying price down to what I actually put into. Like, what is my actual outlay of money? And I've been investing since I've been about 18 years old. Started small, just looking into the markets, how they work, learning a lot about them, reading a lot about them. Found the Mr. Money Mustache blog. It's a lot about the FIRE movement, which is called Financial Independence Retire Early. And it's a lot about just, well, living way below your means, saving up a lot of money, and once you have a certain base, just start investing everything over that. And that's what I did for a long time. I was working after my studies. Well, already during my studies, I invested on the side. But especially after that, yeah, I started living on my other boat, my old boat. So I was hardly spending anything on rent. I was living for about 300 euros a month together with my ex-girlfriend. So yeah, we were hardly spending. We were both working. We were making good money, and we were just saving that up and investing it. And over time, the money that I put in quintupled. So it became 5 times more. So for every euro I put in, it became 5 times more. So that was a big factor in being able to buy this boat. Actually, I only put in about 10,000 euros to be able to buy this boat. But that was 10,000 euros put in years ago. and just waiting, letting it grow, letting it be there. Also during COVID, I invested more. The markets went down, I invested more. A lot of my investments were in the Nasdaq and also crypto. So yeah, they had some very good returns over the past years. Like the Nasdaq went from about 5,000 points to about 25,000 points. So yeah, if you were following this, if you had been doing this for the past years, you would have made good money, and that allowed me to buy this boat. So I sold my investments, and another big part was also that boats in Europe are still priced well. So I sailed my other boat back to Europe to sell it there. I sold it within a week to the first people that came to look, and yeah, sold my boat there. Didn't make money on that, like I lost money on that boat because I bought it for a certain amount, fixed it up over the years, spent way more than that, and then sold it again. But I learned a lot from that, and yes, sold that boat, and that also allowed me to, well, have money left over to fix up this boat, because this boat is like for the 52,000 that I paid. This boat is definitely not ready to sail. Like, we can sail it, we can move it, but this is not an ocean going boat. We need the rudders, we need a complete overhaul of the electrical system, we need a new steering installation, we need an autopilot, there needs to be a lot of shit done to the interior work. There's a lot more work and costs, and that's what I've been doing for the past weeks, is just going through the whole boat, figuring stuff out and ordering online. Like, it's looking like a postal office here. There's just packages everywhere. And we're literally loading up the boat before we head out to Mexico. So to get a good deal, I used a couple of things. I looked at geography. Boats here on the West Coast are cheaper, at least in my opinion, cheaper than they are on the East Coast, and definitely cheaper than they are in Europe. So that's a big factor, because there's just not that many places you can go to from here. Like, there's no day sailing or stuff like that. You have to go down to Mexico, you have to go up the coast to Canada or northern US, or you can go to Hawaii, but that's a very big crossing, or you can go to French Polynesia. Like, there's, along this coast, there's not a lot of hopping or just enjoying the boat. So if you're not using the boat, if you're not living on board, if you're not doing long trips, it is a really expensive place to have a boat like this. So every single month this boat is costing the owner money. So he wants to get rid of it. So that gives a push for him, like, okay, let's get rid of this boat. It's already been here for a year or even more. You spend money on it, like fixing it up and everything, so it's all money down the drain. So at a certain moment, you have to find a boat, and you have to be a bit lucky. Like, it has to be a boat that has been for sale for some time. Yeah, and if you're there at the right moment, you have the money ready, you can make a quick deal. You will be amazed at, yeah, what you can get down to with the price. Also, the dollar was at a very low point when I bought this boat. So during COVID, at one moment, it was like €1 is $1. Now, when I bought a boat, it was €1 is $1.17. So that also gave me like 17% more purchasing power to buy a boat. So all of these factors combined, like also with my boat being able to sell it in Europe, yeah, made this whole deal possible. And it was kind of like a match made in heaven. I never thought I would be able to afford or even buy a boat like this. So yeah, this whole thing just came together in a beautiful way, and that allowed me to now be the owner of this 49-foot performance catamaran. And it's gonna be a lot of work. Like, buying this boat is step one. There's gonna be different phases of fixing this boat up, and yeah, that's what we're gonna go into next. So the refit of this boat is gonna be, well, about 3 parts. Part 1 is now, which is just like, get out of here. It's costing about $1,500 a month to be in this marina, so we want to get out of here. I gave myself about 1.5 months to just buy everything I will need for all the projects we want to do in the coming months. Because here in the US I can get anything, and it's easy to get it, it's cheap to get it. It will be a lot easier here than in Mexico. So we're literally loading up the boat. You can see it here, like, it's just boxes and boxes and boxes full of stuff that we are ordering and getting on board. So we're actually spending quite a bit of money. In future videos we'll go more into like what we're actually spending every month and what we're spending on fixing up this boat. We're trying to keep a log on that, but that's something for future videos. So yeah, we're literally loading up the boat and making sure that the basic electrical systems and mechanical systems are working so we can go out sailing. So that's what I'm working on now. We're doing the batteries, we're making sure that the autopilot works, that the engines work, that the sails work. So that's all things that we are working on now. And yeah, it's a big mess. The whole boat is a mess, but we're just trying to get out of here with a loaded boat so we can do all the projects in Mexico. That's phase 1 for now. In Mexico, that's phase 2. We're gonna be working on the boat a lot. So all the stuff that we're buying now, we have to install it. We have to make sure that everything is working. We have to go learn about the boat. Like, there's so many systems on this boat that I haven't even looked into yet, that we still need to refurbish, that we need to work on. So that's definitely going to be phase 2 in Mexico. Just getting this boat in a condition that we are comfortable sailing it on oceans. So that also includes working on the rudders. We have to take the rudders out. We're going to open them up and we're going to see what has happened. Do we need new rudder shafts? Do we need to build a completely new rudder? Can we reuse parts? That's something we have to look into also when we're in Mexico. Once we got the boat in a decent condition where we feel comfortable sailing it on oceans and everything like that, that gives us also a lot more range, and that gives us opportunities where we want to go. That's kind of when we get more into the end of phase 2, and phase 3 is about making the boat more usable and more beautiful, especially on the inside. So yeah, this is the owner's side of the hull, and we're just gonna probably just rip all of this out. We want to make a nice bathroom here, so we want to have a separated shower at the front. We want to have a nice sink, toilet, and really make this into a nice bathroom where we can actually take a shower inside. That will be a first for me, to take a shower inside of a boat. On Pinta we're just showering on the back. This is probably going to be storage area, so we're going to make some nice cabinets here. And yeah, we're also cleaning up our bedroom, making nice cabinetry where we can hang our clothes and put our clothes and stuff like that. So there's definitely lots of projects to do on this side of the hull. Once we have that done, we'll probably start working on the guest side as well, redoing we're going to redo the bathroom there as well, but it's going to be a shared bathroom. So it's still going to probably stay in the same place, but it's just going to be completely redesigned. And just make everything look neat. Like, we're going to work on the finishing work of this boat, because there's a lot of really bad finishing. If you look at all these edges, like, they're just kind of done with a with a hacksaw. Like, none of them are round or following a certain curve. All of them are kind of just like done with a jigsaw with the eyes closed. No idea why. So we're gonna make this boat look neat. Probably needs a lot of repainting as well on the inside. The outside looks nice. Yeah, so there's many jobs to do that we'll be doing in the future, and we'll be taking you guys along for it. So we're really excited to just get going with this boat. Get all the stuff on board, start moving, and start just ripping stuff out and rebuilding and making this something into an awesome boat that's just gonna fly across the oceans. We really love the support that we got on the last video. It also got me into contact with other owners of this boat, so we're gonna dive more into depth about the history of these boats, how they were built, how many they were built. Like, I've heard there's only 11 of these boats out there, but the story is still a little bit fake, what hull they were splashed on and stuff like that. So we're gonna dive more into the history in another video. But yeah, it's great to have all of you along for the ride, and yeah, please keep on commenting. I'll try to reply to all the comments that are asking questions or other stuff. Keep on liking, keep on sharing it with other people that might be interested, because it's helping us a lot in getting these videos out there, giving us good motivation to keep these videos coming out there, and also helps us to work with companies to offer us nice discounts for fixing up this boat, because it's not going to be a cheap project. Thanks so much, guys, and yeah, see you in the next video.